Hello, welcome to another of my video podcasts. I'm Christine Webber. I'm here to try and help in any way I can. One thing that might help is that this morning there was some good news, some good scientific news, just in case you haven't caught up with it yourself. Looks like the boffins in Oxfordshire, who are trying to make a vaccine that will solve our problems really, have had some excellent preliminary results, and these are hopeful. So we're not out of the woods by any means yet, but I think this is the first glimmer of light that we've had for a while. And this is really important because right at the moment, so many people seem to be feeling emotionally exhausted. That's a rather dramatic way of putting it, but that's how it feels. And it's really happening to so many of us. And so many people are saying, do you know, actually, I feel worse now than I did at the beginning. I thought I'd feel better as it went on, because you get accustomed to things, but they don't. And I think it is the inevitability of it going on. The days drifting one into another, perhaps not having very much confidence in the sort of the governmental rules that are coming out, feeling all the time you're having to make decisions yourself for your own safety and that of your family and your finance and everything else. It feels too much, and it has gone on too long, and we're tired. So what can we do? Well, get more sleep would be a good thing. Also, I think simply to accept that it is happening to so many people. Clearly for people who have mental health problems at the best of times, this is going to be very difficult. But it's also difficult for people who have always thought of themselves as being robust in terms of their own mental health, and suddenly people are having sort of quite irrational thoughts. Everybody else that's working from home is doing better than me, nobody likes me really, my life's going to be downhill from now on. Those sort of thoughts that, if unchecked, really do feel as if they will overwhelm us and we won't be able to get back to who we are. That is a terrifying feeling, and if you're feeling that, you're not alone, and there are some things you can do about it. So just as we did at the beginning of lockdown, we talked quite a lot about scheduling a day. I think it's really important to schedule our days now, start again, because perhaps some of the timetabling has gone a little bit adrift. We think, oh well, yes, I'll exercise tomorrow. Exercise, high spots, something to feed your soul, music, whatever it is, contact with family or friends, if not in your garden, Skype, Zoom, all of that. Lots of things, maybe a new project. I've noticed that one or two of my friends have divided a little bit of quite small gardens, and they're growing their own vegetables, and they seem to have got a great deal of joy from this. I suppose there is something grounding about working with the ground and producing something you can actually eat. So perhaps more of us should be doing it. I'm thinking of a little corner of my garden that's a rubbish tip at the moment that might come into play here. So things like that, a new project, a new book, something like, you know, an online book club, something. Get some more scheduling into your day to stop that Groundhog Day feeling, which is wearing us down and wearing us out. And now I want to talk about holidays, because this is the period of the year where normally we have a change of scene, a change of routine. And for so many people, there's not going to be one, or not anything like the normal one. 67% of us do not want to go through an airport, and not all of us can afford the nice cottage in Cornwall or whatever, or camping. Plenty of us could do something different, but we have to think about it, and we also have to perhaps step out of our comfort zone to do it, because a lot of people have not been out of their town, let alone their county, and actually I think it is time that we were pushing ourselves a bit within the limits of what we feel are safe to do that, and to do some things like, I've had my hair done, you know, you worry about it, but then you get there and you find that they've got all the safety measures in place. A hotel along the road here reopened this week, and again, I thought, should I go? And we do feel uncertain, but on the way home from having dinner, the first dinner I hadn't had to get together for myself since March the 12th or whatever, I did feel a lightness about me that I hadn't felt for quite a while. So I think things like that. In terms of the holiday, if you're not able to go away properly, then I think maybe designate 2 weeks out of this period where the kids are all off, whether it's your own children, your nieces or your grandchildren. Designate 2 weeks where you will do different things. Doesn't have to be extraordinary things. Maybe just, you know, all the components of your family could drive somewhere that you could all get to and back in a day, and the children could all play rounders or something. Maybe you could have a competition online. Maybe, I mean, I don't need to tell you, I'm sure you've got plenty of ideas, but I think the key thing is designate that fortnight to be your holiday and make it different. Different enough that when you look back on this year, you can think, oh yes, well, we did that. And I honestly think that will help people a great deal. We're going through all sorts of processes and we don't even really know what they are. A long time ago, somebody designated the processes of grief, and there have been various versions of this, but you know, it's like shock, denial, anger, depression. Sometime after this is all over, somebody will write the definitive piece about the processes of thought and emotion we went through. We don't know what they are yet because we're busy going through them, but it's certainly a phase now that is very tough for people. So my final thing to say to you today is be sure that you're talking to somebody about it. Now you may feel, well, everybody else is going through something, how can I burden them because they're already feeling low, but maybe pick a person that you know thinks in similar ways to you and just say, shall we just share how we're feeling? We might get it off our chest. And maybe have 5 minutes each just to really splurge what you really, really want to say truthfully. Share it with each other, the other person does the same, and then have a little chat at the end of it. I think that sort of thing can really help immeasurably, and it just takes a little bit of courage and organisation to set it up. So good luck with everything. I hope that we're all going to feel better soon, but meanwhile, let's stick together and let's do our very best to enjoy the bits of life that we actually can.